Does this week do you sense it's ramping up here in terms of the hype and what's at stake?
Nah, I don't feel it ramping up. It's crazy. Doesn't even. It just feels like another regular season game. Like I said, I feel like the past 4 games, even in a regular season, it was like playoff football. It was so much, pressure and us having to perform to try to get the number one seed that you just kind of get used to it, right? Every week's been a big week ever since I feel like the third game I've been here. So you just kind of get used to, everybody saying, "Oh yeah, the pressure is here, the pressure is that. It's a big game. We got to have the biggest game if we want to do this and we want to do that." So I think it's a good thing, to have that kind of environment instead of everybody saying, "Oh, it's a big game this week," and then everybody, letting the pressure, take control of them. Instead, you just kind of just get used to the pressure. If that makes sense.
For some of the young guys, I'm sure nerves are just a natural thing here, right? Considering the stage you guys are on right now, how do you help some of the younger, especially receivers who really haven't been in this kind of position before?
Man, them guys, they don't know. I don't even think they know. Truthfully, I'm telling you, a locker room is just so loose. I feel like we got a great core of guys, and I mean, obviously, the young guys. That look at Kendrick Bourne last week and how he performed and how he was even acting after he made a catch, smiling and having a good time, and then Deebo making the plays. Those guys are just they're themselves, and I've been enjoying being around them because they don't even feel the pressure. They don't even know what's going on. They're just playing football and having fun. And I think that, sometimes when you get in this game at this level, you forget about the fun part of it. You take it way too serious. And, like I said, I've been enjoying being around those guys because they definitely are at the core of football, which is a game, and they make it fun. So we're going to continuously do that and have fun.
You played for some of the greatest organizations in this league, and now you're with this one and all the history here. What is it about being in this building around these former players, these current players, that could lift a team that was 4-12 a year ago to this game?
Yeah, I'm big on energy and positive energy, and if you have the right nucleus of guys around, things gonna work out. And I was watching the quarterback from LSU. He was talking about the game, the quarterback from Clemson. He was talking about the game versus LSU, and he was saying that the best team is going to win, and that usually happens. Most games. Sometimes you put it on certain players, but the best team, the best overall team is going to win. And I feel like John and Kyle, they did a great job of assembling this team and bringing in guys because we got depth. We got guys. 3 running backs. I feel like we got 5 receivers. We got depth on this team, and overall that makes us a better team. And just like you said, being in this organization and just seeing it and being a part of it, it's special. When I think about this organization, I'll never forget touching down to Seattle and seeing all those fans out there. And even though I've only been here for like 5-6 weeks, to be able to poke my chest out and be like, I'm part of something special. It was amazing. And so that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to continuously that and hopefully, go all the way to the Super Bowl and win that.
This place wasn't really known as a home stadium in its initial years. Were you feeling kind of a build of the home crowd and the home field advantage as this thing has moved on?
Yeah, especially last week. I truthfully, I've been on the road versus New Orleans versus Baltimore, and I don't know how my mind is wired. Like, I'm like that dog that if you throw a bone, like, I don't even think about nothing. My mind's on that. And so when I go in the stadium, sometimes I don't hear the crowd. I don't really hear anything until I get on the plane and everybody else is talking about it because I could just lock it in. I don't know if that's experience or not, but I'm sure from the opponent, I'm sure they hear the crowd because they're loud. I love this fan base. I love the energy in the crowd. I love the music in the stadium. And so I definitely think that it plays a factor. And I feel like they give us energy as well.
Emmanuel, what do you remember about your first conference title game that you played in, and how you kind of navigated that kind of an experience?
Yeah, my first title game was in 2010. I was a rookie. We were playing against the Jets, Mark Sanchez, and we got up on them pretty good. And I remember second half just watching the clock, just run the ball, let's go to the Super Bowl. And how I handled that, I came in with Antonio Brown, and we were the young guys, we were the rookies, man. we had guys like Antoine Randall and Hines Ward there to tell us. And I remember once the playoffs had started, Hines was like, all the extracurricular activities that you guys are doing, like get rid of those, get rid of the extracurricular, and let's hone in on trying to do something special right now. And we were able to do that. And so, that's what I kind of tell young guys as well. Let's lock in for like 2 or 3 weeks. And at the end of it, hopefully we'll be saying we're the world champs, and the off season is yours. They'll be calling you champ all the way up until, next season.
Emmanuel, can you talk a little bit about Jimmy G and the fact that on the outside he doesn't seem to get a lot of credit, even though all he does is win? What do you make out of that? What do you make of that?
Yeah, I think, from that standpoint, I just think that from a team perspective, we have so many great pieces. When you talk about the defensive line, when you talk about the secondary, when you talk about the linebackers, we got depth. When you talk about the running game that we have, when you talk about the passing game, and so it's hard to just target one player and say, oh, he's the reason why they're winning. And I think that's the reason why they don't give Jimmy all the credit, because they're saying, oh, he's not the absolute reason why they're winning. We have so many different ways that we can win, but at the end of the day, where they can't say that he isn't is because he's won. He's a winner. The games that we weren't running the ball, where we had 34 yards, you'll see Jimmy go out and throw 5 touchdown passes and 400 yards. And so, I love that, that aspect that we can run the ball and pass the ball. So that's kind of why, he's not getting that credit. But he is a baller, and I'm happy he's my quarterback for sure.
And last one, guys. You've been on championship teams, and they talk about how much the guys genuinely like each other. How important is that team chemistry when you guys genuinely, truly like each other?
It's very important. Last week, Kyle, he pretty much gave a speech to the team, and sometimes in this league, you come to work and you clock in, you clock out. And truthfully, I enjoy being around these guys. And the speech that Kyle gave was that there's so much love between this team, and how much we care about each other. And I looked around, I looked at Deebo, I looked at KB, I looked at, the receiver corps. I said, man, I genuinely do love these guys. It's a great group of guys to go to work with every day, a fun group of guys to go to work with. And I feel like when you have that kind of chemistry, and it's all throughout this team, all throughout this organization, I feel like when you have that, the sky is the limit. And so we're not in this position. It's not a coincidence, we worked our butt off on the field and off the field, and I feel like we're deserving of this moment, and we got to take advantage of it.
All right. Thanks, Emmanuel. Thanks, guys. We'll bring you out to practice shortly.